And now I'm talking to Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne, am I correct to say you were the main person that set up the Near Media Co-op?
Yes, I was the founder. It was my idea initially, and I gathered some people together and enthused them enough to actually form the cooperative and lobby for a licence for the area. Yeah.
It's brilliant, and we're 20 years old this year. Could you tell us about just like, I'm sure it's great to get to 20 years. We're established in the community. Could you just talk a bit about the last 20 years, please, and how it was watching kind of setting up in the first place, like, you know?
Well, I think it has achieved everything that I sort of aspired to. I wanted it to be sort of a social resource for the area. Not when I was touting the idea of community radio initially, people thought of either RTE, public service radio, or commercial radio. So this was a sort of an unknown quantity. I think people thought I was sort of slightly mad, but I'm very happy to report that 20 years on, we've achieved most of the social activity that I felt it should be about. That people now coming to Near FM know that it's really a community development resource rather than a radio station. I keep reminding them the radio station is just a tool we're using for community development. So I think we've won that sort of philosophical debate. People now accept that's a third model of radio in the area.
And I think Near FM, the Near Media Co-op, or Near FM are the most kind of advanced community radio station in Ireland, aren't they? Like, I don't live over this part of the city, but when I come over here on the roads, I see signs for Near FM. When I'm over in other areas, I don't see signs for their radio stations.
Well, I suppose we have been, but a lot of it's my madness has driven us to this level of activity. But I mean, it took a lot of hard work and sweat and blood and tears to get where we are. But we've always been very progressive, and I've always tried to make sure that we were dealing with all the media platforms, radio, television and online from the very start, because I felt that eventually they will all merge and the whole thing will be online eventually, and we needed to have experience of all the three platforms. So in that sense, where other people were sort of happy to set up a community radio station, we were almost progressive and expanding, really.
And we have, as you were saying, there's television as well, there's Near TV as well. When was Near TV set up, do you know?
Oh, it was in the plans from the start, and in fact the only trouble was Near is an acronym originally for North to East Access Radio, and then you have the problem of Near, which is really North to East Access Radio TV. So in a sense the acronym has disappeared, and it now is just the word Near, which still sort of means we're local and we're very close to people. So yeah, Near TV was in, and Near Online. We were doing all three from day one.
And it's great that there's loads of people doing community employment schemes with Near FM. Has that been going since? Has that been going for long? Is it?
Well, again from day one, we were always tight on resources, and the thing about setting up community radio, which really is about the community talking among itself and outlining problems and aspirations. It's a very different model to commercial radio, and advertisers know commercial radio and they like their ads with a smooth DJ and playing sort of familiar tracks, whereas we play a lot of unfamiliar music, and we could well be talking to a Nigerian refugee or the local Irish travellers, and it didn't sit well with advertisers. So the model of community radio realised very early was never going to be a model of commercial radio, even at community level. That the format doesn't suit advertising, and we were happy in a way with that, because we didn't want to be a commercial radio station. The problem was we had to find funding from other sources. So it's over the past 20 years, the main battle has been to find alternative sources of funding.
Yeah, and like I've talked to a couple of people who are high up in other community radio stations in Ireland, and that they've said to me that Near FM were kind of like the leading and the best community radio station in Ireland. And is that true? Like?
Well, we try not to appear too boastful about it, but we have been leaders, because we were the ones pushing politicians to legislate for it. And then we had a job, even when the legislation was in place, to get the licensing authority to license community radio. So my grouping, my co-op, Cork co-op, has always been to the fore in pushing this thing. So yeah, we've been pushing hard. But we try not to sort of show off too much. I mean, we have been successful, but I'd like to think of it more that we're offering a model that others can aspire to. You know, other stations can be heartened that you don't have to be in a cowshed, you can be in a nice studios. And why should community volunteers not have the best of facilities to do their community radio work in?
Yeah, I think it's great just talking about community employment schemes. Like, how many people are on? How many people do we have on schemes now? Like, and how many have come through over the years? Like through the community employment schemes, you know.
Well, of course, it has recently. The CE schemes have changed, and they used to be more about training and upskilling the individuals. Now it's much more about getting them ready for a job. Really, that's it now. So it has changed. The emphasis has changed. But over the years, we've had hundreds of CE workers. Lots of them have gone back into education. We have a good relationship with Coolock here. A lot of them will go back to do media studies here. Others have got jobs in media, and quite a lot of them have got jobs in the likes of RTE and the big commercial radio stations, because Near FM, when they go for an interview, has a good name. So people respect the name, and it has helped young people to get a job in media. So we're quite pleased that a lot of our CE personnel have gone on into full-time employment.
Yeah, I was getting my hair cut there last year, and the man said to me, "Where you work?" I was doing a scheme at Near FM at the time, a couple of years ago now. So he goes, "Oh yeah, Near FM. He's from the broad area, like he knows it." Yeah. But if I go to other areas and like I'd actually know more about their radio station than they would.
Well, I know. I mean, again, as I say, I don't want to sort of gloat too much. We've got where we are by hard work and by promoting ourselves and by being a useful resource for the community. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily grind. And all I can say in terms of the other radio stations is we're offering our model as a template. That's the way to do it. If you want to heighten your profile, one of the best things we learned years ago when we were only starting, we did an open day when we were down in the old Coolock Development Centre, and we put an awful lot of time into getting community groups and individuals to come to us. And a politician, a very astute politician locally, says to me, "You're killing yourselves and you're doing this all wrong. Go where the community is already gathered." So that's when we became an outside broadcast unit. And we found when we went with our OB van, people first of all appreciated that a radio station was covering their event. We got the visibility of it, so we got the goodwill and the promotion. And we've been telling all the other radio stations, this is the way to raise your profile in the area, you know. So we experiment and we try to pass on the message to other radio stations.
That's great. It's great that Near FM, near me, the Cobb has the van. Like it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Just a couple more, just two more things before we go. You mentioned there Coolock. I went to Coolock. I did journalism there for 2 years. I went to Wolverhampton for a year, did print journalism. But there's now, if you have a diploma in media studies from anywhere in Ireland or maybe in the world, you can actually do a BA top-up degree in Coolock in conjunction with Near FM, can't you?
That's
and you
right.
have a degree then in broadcast journalism.
This is a new development, and we're very happy because we've been very pleased with our partnership with Coolock over the years. They've been very supportive from day one for us. So yes, this is a nice new development that the college and the radio station will work together in training people and bringing them up to the level of the degree course. Yeah.
That's great.
We're very happy with that.
And just great. Just to finish up, Jack. I'm disappointed. Like if you look at County Donegal, Letterkenny is a bigger population than Kilkenny City, and they don't have a community radio station. Are there any plans up there? Do you know?
Well, Donegal was good, and I think one of the best other community radio stations in the country was Inishowen, which just collapsed for internal reasons, but it was a very popular one. And in terms of getting funds, it was matching Near FM, you know. Yeah, we'd like to see more. I mean, we're still pushing. The trouble is resources to set it up, and we're hoping that the new public service broadcasting charge, which won't come in with this government, but the next government will certainly bring it in, and it will have in excess of between 20 and 50 million extra. So we're lobbying now for the fact that without affecting RTE, which will get more money anyway, some of that extra money could go to develop community radio in every county in the country, so that I would hope that in 5 years' time, because there's about 30 groups ready to go but lacking resources, small sums of money would kickstart about 30 community radio stations across the country. So that's our next sort of phase of development.
Okay, Jack, it's great talking to you, and just talking to you now, I really understand that you're still working very hard.
It's not. Yeah, I'd be still shouting and giving out when they put me in the coffin. I had one more thing to say,
All right, thanks, Jack.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.